This is a Ramana Maharshi clip, a talk by Ramana Maharshi with comments by Richard Clarke. This is a time to listen, reflect, and deeply meditate. I'm Richard Clarke. I'm reviewing and commenting on the book Talks with Sri Ramana Maharshi. Today is from talk number 13, the fourth and last part of this talk. Continuing the dialogue. The questioner asks, does my realization help others? Maharshi, yes, certainly. It is the best help possible. But there are no others to be helped, for a realized being sees the self just like a goldsmith estimating the gold in various jewels. When you identify yourself with the body, then only the forms and shapes are there. But when you transcend your body, the others disappear along with your body consciousness. The questioner, is it so with plants, trees, etc.? Maharshi, do they exist at all apart from the self? Find it out. You think that you see them. The thought is projected out of your own self. Find out wherefrom it rises. Thoughts will cease to rise, and the self alone will remain. The questioner, I understand theoretically, but they are still there. Maharshi, yes, it's like a cinema show. There is the light on the screen and the shadows flitting across impress the audience as the enactment of some piece. Similarly, also, will it be if in the same play an audience also is shown. The seer, the seen, will then only be the screen. Apply it to yourself. You are the screen. The self has created the ego. The ego has its accretions of thoughts, which are displayed as the world, the trees, plants, etc., of which you are asking. In reality, all these are nothing but the self. If you see this self, the same will be bound to be all, everywhere, and always. Nothing but the self exists. Questioner, yes, I still understand only theoretically, yet the answers are simple and beautiful and convincing. Maharshi, even the thought I do not realize is a hindrance. In fact, the self alone is. In this conversation, the questioner asks whether their realization helps others. Maharshi responds affirmatively, stating that it's the best form of help possible. However, he adds a crucial perspective, saying that there are no separate individuals to be helped. Always Ramana dives deeper and questions the assumptions that the question is based upon. Maharshi uses an analogy to explain. He likens a realized being's perception of the self to that of a goldsmith examining various pieces of jewelry, all apparently different, yet all made of gold, the same substance. When you identify with the body, the world appears as a collection of forms and shapes. Among them is the body. But when the identification with the body dissolves, the perceptions of others also vanishes along with the consciousness of the body. There are no others. There is only the self. The questioner then asks about plants and trees, wondering if they exist apart from the self. Maharshi encourages him to investigate the source of these questions. He points out that thoughts, including the perception of the external world, rise in the mind, and the mind rises in the self, which is consciousness itself. So the mind is only made from consciousness, like the ornaments are only gold. When you deeply know the source of these thoughts, they cease, leaving only the self. To further illustrate, Maharshi uses the metaphor of a cinema show. The screen represents the self, while the light and shadows projected onto it symbolize the world and its contents. The audience watching the show is the ego involved with and identified with the movie. In reality, you are the screen, not the movie. The screen is not changed by the movie. The screen doesn't change even if there is no movie. The questioner acknowledges that he grasps this theoretically, but still sees an external world. Maharshi cautions him by emphasizing that even the thought of not realizing the self is a hindrance. Let go of it. Let go of thought altogether. The self is the ultimate reality, and while understanding this concept on an intellectual level is the first step towards realizing it experientially, it is only a step. Deeper and direct knowledge, self-knowledge, is what is needed. This dialogue underscores the core teaching of Ramana Maharshi, the recognition of the non-duality of all existence. The self is the only reality, and everything else is just a transient illusion. It all appears and disappears within the self, which is unchanged by any of it. Ramana Maharshi invites you to move beyond theoretical understanding and experience the truth of the self directly, for yourself, as yourself. So inquire, know yourself, and be always free and at peace. These videos help bring Ramana Maharshi's teachings into your direct experience. Subscribe now